You've told yourself you'll start tomorrow. Then tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. And somewhere in the middle of all that waiting, the version of you that was supposed to exist never shows up. You know what needs to be done. You can see it clearly. And yet, you don't do it. That's not laziness. That's not weakness. And it has absolutely nothing to do with your work ethic. What's happening inside your brain when you procrastinate is something most people never get told. And once you understand it, you'll never look at procrastination the same way again. Here's what the standard advice tells you. Just use a to-do list. Set a timer. Break it into smaller tasks. Work harder. Have more discipline. And you've tried all of it, haven't you? You downloaded the apps. You made the plans. You told yourself this time would be different. But 2 hours later, you're watching something you don't even care about. And there's this quiet guilt sitting in your chest that just doesn't leave. The reason none of that advice works is because it's solving the wrong problem. Procrastination isn't a time management problem. Researchers at Carleton University spent years studying this, and what they found should completely change how you think about why you delay. Procrastination is an emotion regulation problem. Let that land for a second. When you face a task, especially one that feels big, unclear, or tied to your self-worth, your brain doesn't think this will take too long. It thinks this feels threatening. And your amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for detecting danger, fires off a stress response, anxiety, dread, a sudden, overwhelming urge to do literally anything else. So your brain does what brains are designed to do. It escapes. It finds something easier, more stimulating, more immediately rewarding. YouTube, your phone, a snack, anything to bring that emotional temperature back down. And here's the cruel part, it works. You feel better, temporarily. So your brain logs that as a win. It learns. Task equals discomfort. Avoidance equals relief. And every single time you repeat that pattern, the neural pathway gets stronger, more automatic, harder to break. This is why willpower alone will never fix procrastination. You're not fighting laziness. You're fighting a deeply wired emotional survival response. Psychologist Dr. Fushia Siroas at Durham University describes it this way. Procrastinators aren't managing their time badly. They're managing their mood badly. And that distinction is everything. Because now the question isn't, how do I force myself to work? The real question is, how do I change what my brain feels when it sees the task? So how do you actually rewire it? 3 things. And all 3 work directly on the emotional root cause. Step 1. Shrink the threat. Your brain avoids tasks it perceives as large and dangerous. So make it smaller, not in a motivational poster way, but neurologically. Instead of write the report, your task is open the document and read the first paragraph. That's it. Nothing more. This triggers what psychologists call the Zeigarnik Effect. Once your brain starts a task, it creates an open loop. An unfinished tension it actually wants to close. Starting is the hardest part, not because of time, but because your amygdala hasn't yet learned the task is safe. The moment you start, the threat shrinks. The urge to continue appears naturally. Step 2. Separate your identity from the outcome. A huge driver of procrastination, especially for people who care, is fear of failure tied to self-worth. If you believe that doing badly at the task means you are bad, your brain will protect you by never letting you try. The rewire here is a simple internal shift. The task is a test of your effort in this moment, not a verdict on who you are. Say it before you start. This doesn't define me. This is just today's work. It sounds small. The neurological effect is not. Step 3. Attach emotion to the start, not the finish. We're taught to reward ourselves after we finish. That's backwards for the procrastinating brain. Instead, create a small sensory ritual before you begin. A specific playlist, a particular drink, sitting in a specific spot. Over time, your brain begins to associate that ritual with focus. The ritual becomes the emotional trigger that replaces dread. This is called environmental cueing, and it's the same mechanism behind why you feel sleepy in your bedroom, even when you aren't tired. Your brain reads context and fires the emotion associated with it. You can deliberately design that context. Procrastination isn't a character flaw. It's a pattern your brain learned to protect you, and patterns that were learned can be unlearned. The version of you that wanted to start tomorrow, they were never lazy. They were scared. And now you know what to actually do about it. Shrink the threat. Detach your identity. Anchor the emotion to the start. If this changed how you see yourself, not just how you manage your time, then this channel was made for you.